Hey, I'm Amanda Vernon. In this episode, I share my song Deep Sea Diving. It's about the depths of my interior life, and it probably has some kind of psychological connection to my father. Stay tuned afterward to hear the story behind the song. Na 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 na. I wanna be your friend, not just for pretend. I wanna be your friend in real life. Na 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 na. Deep sea diving in the ocean of my soul. You'll never reach the end, but you might find me while you're trying. Deep sea diving takes a courageous man with 2 strong lungs and lots of oxygen. When you look into my eyes, asking me about my life, did you realize there'll be no turning back tonight? You might love the adventure of me if you love jumping off an ocean cliff. Deep sea diving in the ocean of my soul. You'll never reach the end, but you might find me while you're trying. Deep sea diving takes a courageous man with 2 strong lungs and lots of oxygen. Let me give you a heads up. Sometimes the tide gets rough. Come on in, the water's nice if you can make it past the surface. Deep sea diving in the ocean of my soul. You'll never reach the end, but you might find me while you're trying. Deep sea diving takes a courageous man with 2 strong lungs and lots of oxygen. Once you reach the depths, you're just getting started. Once you reach the depths, you're just getting started. Once you reach the depths, you're just getting started. Once you reach the depths, you're just getting started. Diving in the ocean of my soul. You'll never reach the end, but you might find me while you're trying. Deep sea diving takes a courageous man with 2 strong lungs and lots of oxygen. I was always a daddy's girl growing up. I would just follow my dad around and try to do whatever he did. So if my dad sang around the house, I would sing around the house. My dad gave concerts in the community, so I gave concerts in the community. My dad was really involved in church. You get the picture. This trend continued into adulthood. In fact, I think it's kind of still current because in the last several years, my dad has published a couple of books, and now I'm thinking about publishing a book. When I was in my early teens, I learned from one of my high school youth directors that the way that I would communicate in my family life would show up later on when I started a family of my own. And so I took that really seriously, and I love talking to my dad anyway, so I made it really a point in my teen years to talk to my dad like all the time about anything that was on my heart, about the decisions I was making. I'd get his advice, and I thought this is great practice for when I'm married someday. And I remember having this one conversation with my dad about it. My dad is a psychologist, so he's really a naturally great listener, but he also listens to people as his profession. And I was telling him that I'd like to marry someone who knows how to talk to me, like explain himself in words very clearly, and I wish that guys would do that more often. And my dad was saying, like, not all guys are really great at that. And then I went on to say, well, I'll just wait for one who is. And my dad was like, you might be waiting a long time. I was about 19, I think, when we had this conversation, as I remember it. So thankfully, I didn't have to wait that long, and I was married in only a few years after that. And now my husband David and I have an awesome marriage, have really strong communication. Another gift that is part of my life, I think because of the communication I had with my dad, is that I'm able to be really great friends with guys. Like from the time I was in junior high through high school, and now today, some of my best friends are men. And that's kind of a surprise to me because that wasn't like a goal of mine, but it's happened really naturally. It's not that guys take the place of my female friends in any way, and the communication is really different. But I'm really, really grateful for those men who are like courageous enough to share openly with me and also to listen to what I have to say. And I know that the capacity for that kind of friendship stemmed from the relationship that I had with my dad growing up. So thanks, Dad. This episode is made possible by my patrons. If you'd like to video chat with me each month, check out my Patreon page and consider signing up at amandavernon.com/patron.
More than my picture on a plastic screen.